your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
It's been a minute since you played for a national championship. The last time you did was 2019. The Texas Tech men, unfortunately, falling to Virginia in men's basketball. And then before that, this is with regard to a team sport. Before that, it was 1993. And you won that game. The Lady Raiders win a national championship.
So the point is, they don't come around very often.
No. I wonder how many people are thinking about getting in the old jalopy this morning and saying, let's head to Oklahoma City.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be.
I'm sure a lot of the people that were there last night are still going to be there tonight.
Yeah.
So they may have already made the drive.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. This from Syntex Hank. This is a critique, a little advice maybe. Top of the morning to you, lads. Great win last night. This team is full of fight. It's going to be fun.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Full of fight. Chuck, today, please don't berate or belittle those of us who are over 70 and still productive. Okay.
Oh, when I read that the first time, Hank, I thought you were telling him to do it because he did it yesterday, and that helped the Red Raiders win. So if we're superstitious, then we should have him do it again today, and that would help us get the dub.
I'm here to please. There are more of us than you might realize. It feels like there's a nation.
You were pretty hardcore on those folks yesterday.
Well, I mean,
I still can't believe you called her sweetheart.
Well, and this morning, I thought she was being nice to me, but I think this is a little passive aggressiveness by the lucky lady. My morning coffee cup says, "Good morning, sweetheart," with a exclamation point. So I think she's sending a message there. There is a heart with a XOO, hugs and kisses, right? But I think she's sending a message to me as well. Syntex Inc. Good morning, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Was that the judge who's
twiddling
her thumbs on trying to make a decision for this college court case?
I have a hard enough time understanding my wife, Chuck. I'm surely not going to understand yours.
Yeah, just staying away from that. Somebody asked this: who's ready to win a national championship today? I think all of us. I mean, we need to. It's like that's not like us. It's like we're not responsible for anything, but other than just getting behind them and sending positive mojo to Oklahoma City, and so the people on the field that actually win those things, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing we can do. Is there anything superstitious about tonight for you that you'll do the same thing that you've been doing, or is it, or do you don't necessarily totally believe in that stuff?
I'm a superstitious guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't feel like anything I'm not close enough for anything I do to affect anything.
Okay, but there's like for Tech baseball, you feel like there's times when you're close enough to it that you can help kind of sway the gods a little bit?
No, I don't think I ever help. I'm just doing my best not to hurt.
Okay. And by that, you just completely stay out of the way.
That's right.
Yeah, just completely stay out of the way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I try to change up my pen colors after a loss, fully well knowing that nothing I do does anything. But it just makes me feel better.
Makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if whatever you did last night, make sure that you do again tonight. Caden says this: good morning. Driving around Reese before class, lots of damage and debris. Yeah, it was a brutal storm last night.
Yeah, there was lots of leaves and grass clippings and all that out in the road. We probably should ban tornadoes and storms.
Sure. Sure. And sometimes you can't help that, you know. Sometimes Mother Nature gets in the way of things. You know, I need to do a better job of listening to my wife, because last night.
Whoa. Say that again.
I need to do a better job of listening to my wife, because
Now I have a new hotkey. Go ahead.
Because I didn't listen to her last night when she said, "Do you think we should take the umbrella out of the table and put it somewhere?" And I said, "No, I think it'll be all right." And about half an hour later, it was shredded from the top. You know, it was old. So it's time for it to be replaced.
Backyard
anyway.
table.
Yeah.
Took me a minute to figure out why there was an umbrella in the table.
Backyard table. Yeah, backyard
Chuck
table.
doesn't really believe in real umbrellas. He's not a fan.
I am not a fan of real umbrellas. While in our neighbor's basement last night, they said they would be driving to Oklahoma City for tonight's game. That from Brett G. Wife and daughter went to OKC last weekend. They went back for the championship series. I'm headed there this morning. Wreckham Tech. Okay.
Awesome.
I think, the park looks just jammed, doesn't it? I mean, it's just, it's a awesome atmosphere up there. And if you'd have asked me this, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you this, but it's the largest softball park in the United States.
Makes sense.
You know, it seats just under 13,000, like 12,900 and some change. But if you'd have said to me, "Where's the biggest?" I'd say, "Well, I don't know, L.A. or someplace like that." But they're going to have the 2028 Olympics when they host those. They'll be in Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. And there's also a rowing competition, or I don't know, kayaking or something with boats that'll be there as well.
Yeah, they're doing lots of rowing there.
Yeah, so I think it is rowing.
Back when we were there for the Big 12 tournament, and I would take walks along the river there were always tons of rowers out there getting after it. It was fun to kind of watch them.
I went to another tailgate last night. Thank you, Sellers family, for food, drink, and fellowship. Oh, yeah, well, they've been very generous with the tailgates. That's awesome.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
June the 6th, that should be a significant date in history for you. 2025 is the year, of course, June the 6th. And we're hoping it's a big day from a, well, it was positive but negative, because a lot of people lost their lives on our behalf, but it helped turn things. But here you go. Here's Jeff McGuire.
1937, Philadelphia Phillies trailing 8-2 to the St. Louis Cardinals. They forfeit the game.
What?
They didn't want to play anymore.
Wow. Okay. Quitters.
1950.
Getting ready for you to say they came back and won in the ninth, you know?
Nah, they quit. 1954. Baltimore Orioles manager Jimmy Dykes is ejected from the first game of a doubleheader, and then comes back and gets ejected from the second game against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium.
Wonder how quickly he got tossed in the second game.
I do not know.
You would think there was a hangover, right?
I'm willing to bet there's a giant hangover from Des Moines, yes. 1983, Minnesota Twins select pitcher Tim Belcher, number 1 overall in the MLB draft. 2011, in the draft, UCLA pitcher Garrett Cole is the first pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates. And in 2017, former Red Raider Daniel Colomb enters the 7th inning of the for the Oakland A's, getting 2 strikeouts to end the inning in a 4-1 win over Toronto.
He's still pitching in the big leagues.
I was just getting ready to ask you, is he still pitching?
Twins now. He's had a good career.
It is National Applesauce Cake Day and National Donut Day, which is celebrated the first Friday of June every year.
Wow, how about that? I ran out of time. Didn't have time to get donuts on my way to work this morning. I saw a guy pulling in, though. Well, it was a sign not to go behind him. I've just been frustrated by that.
Happy birthday to former Red Raider football player Cody Davis, is 36.
He had a nice NFL career as well.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's favorite, Carol Baskin, is 64. DeAndre Hopkins, 33. Natalie Morales is 53. And Bill Bates is 64.
Wow.
I'm almost positive I still don't want to get hit by him.
Well, unfortunately, he hit too many people, and he is now suffering for that.
I don't want to get hit by anybody.
And he hit people hard.
Yeah, I'm with Jamie.
He hit people hard. And on this day, 1944.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
Dwight D. Eisenhower to the troops heading off to D-Day landings on the Normandy beach, 1944. That is this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history. That little indicator, Jamie, means that it's time for me to give you a lucky local winning word. Okay?
Okay.
Been doing this, since April the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. April the 28th. Okay. 6:50. You can go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com. Get signed up to win. The more times that you enter, the more of a chance that you have to win. Like yesterday, Jordan Weathers, who won $500. We'll give $500 again on Tuesday and again on Thursday of next week. And then on the 26th of June, we're going to give away $2,500 at Soggy Dog. They're at 50th and Frankfurt. So be putting that on your calendar. Your lucky local winning word this morning at 6:51 is Cowboys. You can say Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys. How are the Cowboys going to be today? Well, we don't know yet. They're still trying to put it all together. Cowboys. C-O-B-B-O-Y-S. Cowboys. Just one note on Jimmy Dykes, who Jeff mentioned in this day in sports history, was thrown out twice on this day. He, as a manager, was ejected 62 times. 62. He was a little fiery.
2 on one day.
2 on one day. He managed your White Sox for a period of time, too. And won World Series as a member of the Philadelphia Athletics.
How excited are you that the White Sox are in talks to be sold?
2035. 2035.
They're not buying them until 2035?
That's the drop dead day where he has to sell.
Who has to sell?
No, that's going to happen before that.
The Sun?
No, Jerry.
Jerry Reinsdorf?
Yeah. He can sell the team after... He can sell the team after 2019, after 2026, I think is what it was. But then, there's a controlling interest percentage that he could sell up to a certain point, and then there's another group of time that it gets a little bit, that the controlling interest gets bigger that he can sell, and at the very end, he has to sell it. It's ridiculous. I'm glad it's eventually going to happen. But It's like 2054, I think, is actually the year. It's insane. He's going to be like 93 at the end of this thing. If it was happening this year, it would be
This
fantastic.
article that I'm looking at says as soon as he'd take it over as majority stake as soon as 2029.
Right, that's the soon one.
As soon. Yeah, so it won't happen for that long.
Yeah.
Can't happen soon enough for you, can it?
If he would invest in the team, if he would pay his players, he's not quite the Oakland Athletics or the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he's close. And he's the same way with the Bulls.
I think I don't know if it was Jamie or if it was Mike Gustafson the other day talking about Davis Martin and potential of being traded, and it's like, well, you're not going to trade him because he's a controllable player that's not making a whole lot of money,
And he's performing well for you.
Yeah, he's performing well for you. So until he gets that next big contract, I'm probably not going to do anything with him. So especially with where he is in terms of his controllable years and compensation, it's such like that. I mean, he makes less than our softball pitcher. I think his number is like $700,000 a year. Davis Martin.
That's believable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Take a pay cut. Go to the big leagues. It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
7:15 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Okay. With Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. When they're playing well, UT is good. Okay, but they seem to unravel quickly when things aren't going their way. I think that's a pretty good statement. That they seem to unravel quickly.
Yeah, well, for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have to tip my hat to the one bright spot in the UT defense. That third baseman is a black hole. Anything hit that way gets eaten up. She has been fantastic.
Yeah, Mia Scott is her name. She's also the one that hit the home run last night. She's a terrific player.
Okay, you're going to have to help me with this, and it's probably very simple. LOB gonna kill us.
Left on base.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Again, I mean, I'm just not very good sometimes at like Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that. Things that are like shortened up like that.
It's a baseball softball term.
Oh, I know what it is, but I overthought it when I looked at that. It's like LOB. I was thinking about long ball or something like that, but and left on base makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah, you're a basketball guy. You probably have basketball terms or abbreviations that maybe the rest of us don't understand.
No, I mean that's pretty elementary right there, LOB. But I mean, just LOB going to kill us. Left on base. It makes perfect sense. Last night you left 8 on base. Texas
At least
left.
you're getting them on base.
Last night Texas left 5 on base.
Yeah. Again, the problem is never leaving guys on base. The problem is not driving them in.
Yeah, runners in scoring position.
If you, at the end of the night, have 0 runners left on base, that is not necessarily a good night. Mm-hmm. That means you probably didn't get many hits. Mm-hmm. You didn't get many people on base. Mm-hmm. Yes, you want to drive in as many as possible, but without leaving some runners on in some innings, that means you're not putting pressure on the pitcher very often.
Sure.
So you don't want your left on base to be high, but you want to be getting on base a bunch. And because you're getting on base a bunch, we know you're not going to drive every one of them in. That's going to leave the other side.
I doubt that there's a basketball term that you're stumped on because you're a savant on that too.
I like me some basketball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come up with one. See if you can get me. I feel like you said something last year that I didn't know. It seemed like there was an abbreviation you were using for out of bounds plays or something like that.
Oh, it was blobs and slobs, baseline out of bounds and sidelines out of bounds plays.
Yeah, see, there you go. I've never heard of that.
Blobs and slobs.
Yeah.
And last night,
That's what I referred to people who spend too much time on their phone.
Okay, plops and slops.
Yeah.
Well, last night after the softball game, I was kind of checking out the NBA game just to see where the score was, because I was just kind of following the score.
It didn't take long.
No, I was just following the score, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's 0.3 of a second left, and I flipped it over. I was trying to find the doggone thing. I finally found it, and they were getting ready to throw it in bounds, and the announcers were like talking about how this is what and I told my wife, I go, this is what the coaches live for right here, these baseline and sideline out of bound plays.
Well, not when there's 1/10 on the clock.
Well, they'll throw 0.3.
I think it was 1/10 when they threw in the last time.
Okay, I thought it was 3. But anyway, the bottom line is...
It couldn't be a catch and shoot. It had to be a tip.
Yeah. So they weren't able to execute that, and Indiana won. So, man, that was...
I think they were down like 15.
They were down 15 at one point in time. So, but yeah, I went and watched a little Lady Raider practice last night, and man, it was like game on, man. They were like full workout sweat and everything, and so they were. I mean, it's June, so I mean they're getting ready to go to Germany, so so they got to get themselves in basketball shape and all that kind of stuff. But it's good to see everybody. I talked to a lot of different people last night. Did
you learn anything about the basketball team?
Yeah, I learned a couple things about the basketball team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
And those were...
Anything you want to share with us?
Well, they looked like they were having fun playing together. I mean, just... Well, I didn't see any specific
June.
plays.
It's June.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have fun playing basketball with Jamie, Choice, Clint, and
I bet
anybody else we want to put in this list. That doesn't mean that we would be good.
Here's the most critical thing that you need to ask me. I met all the new players, and I met 2 of the 3 new coaches. And yes, I gave them a business card and said, hey, if I can do anything to help you, let me know.
No, you said you learned things about the basketball team. That is the most important.
You're our expert, Chuck. You're our analyst, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm analyst,
When
right?
you go to watch practice and you tell us, you make that announcement on the radio, that's when you're supposed to drop knowledge about the team. Like, here's what I learned. They're really good at this, or this girl is really good at this, or blah, 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 or they're going to run a new offense this
I learned
year.
this. I learned this.
It's what we're looking for is not how many business cards you handed out.
Okay. I learned
At
this.
least not at first.
I learned this, and this is what you're going to think this is trivial, but I think this is important because everybody's going to need to know this. So the point guard that you got from Spain, her name is, it's spelled Gemma. Okay, in Spanish that would be pronounced Gemma. Okay, but because Americans don't always know how to say it properly, they would call her Gemma. Well, Gemma in Spanish means egg roll. Okay, so she doesn't want to be called egg roll. She wants to be called Jims. So, Jims.
Her name's Hema?
Her name's Hema.
If she was at home, it would be Hema.
If she was at home, it would be Hema. But here...
If her mama calls her Hema, I'm going to call her Hema.
I think I don't know what her mama calls her. Okay, I didn't ask her what your mama...
If that's what her name is.
But she said Jims is what she wants to be called.
Her.
She told me Jims is what she wants to be called.
Gems.
I
think we all want to be considered that we're a gem.
Yeah, Gymz, I think is how you're supposed to spell it. Gyms. Okay? Gyms. Okay? Bailey Maupin was in full... here's what I learned. Because you have now a true point guard, okay, in Gyms, all right, Bailey Maupin they think is going to thrive because she's going to be more at her natural position. How about that? That's what I learned.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
So that potentially she could have a more of a prolific scoring effect on the team, which is what you need.
Yeah, she can play off the ball, and instead of being a distributor,
right,
she can go spot up and shoot threes and and take people off the dribble and all that instead of trying to set the offense up and get the offense going.
I saw Sydney Love do a behind the back little pass, little leave behind there for Bailey and lay up in. So there's a couple things that I learned. Okay.
Okay.
Goodness.
Did they have everybody's shoes red and black and white and gray?
I did not look at everybody's shoes last night.
I'm going to
sorry.
guess that they were because he didn't notice them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess.
I mean,
trying to give you credit here, Chuck. Accept the credit. I'm trying to give you credit.
Thank you. I'll accept the credit that you're trying to give me. Somebody says this Mia Scott is also playing on a torn ACL. Okay, well, it's that time of year you just got to gut it out, right?
Yeah, impressive. Yep, she's a good player.
Somebody says this busy day for Oklahoma City. The local businesses and hotels are loving it. Yeah, because you get the finals in town. Although, man, the Oklahoma City Thunder, boy, I think they just thought they were just going to roll right through that little deal. It didn't work out.
Let one get away, no doubt.
Yeah. So now the Pacers are 3 away. I'm telling you, I'm rooting for the Pacers. Do you like SGA? Do you like him as a player?
I don't really have much of an opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's clearly he's the MVP. Must be a great player. He kept LeBron from winning the award, so I like that.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, this one might be a little bit difficult.
Why do we have to have difficult questions on a Friday? Let's pay attention and listen hard and then respond.
No,
Favorite ice cream, go.
count to 5.
Okay, got it.
I want you to list in order, with number 1 being the most important. The 5 most important Red Raider football players this upcoming season.
The 5 most
important.
Okay. Well,
5 most important.
Number 1 is Baron Morton. Because if you don't have him performing at, I don't even think he has to perform at a high level. I think he has to perform at a level. I think when I was listening to you guys yesterday, I think you guys said,
wait a minute.
What?
I mean, a level could be a low level. You just said he doesn't have to perform at a high level. He just has to perform at a level.
Right.
Well, low level is a level.
And what I was going to... right.
We need him to not perform at a low level.
What I meant by that was I was going to agree with what you guys had to say yesterday about him being like, if he was the 5th best quarterback in the Big 12, that you would still feel very good about having a very good season.
Yeah, and I would say that probably means he played at a decently high level.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Baron Morton, bingo, number 1. Okay. I'm going to say your offensive line group is number 2. Your defensive line group is number 3. Your kicker is number 4. And give me a receiver. I'll say Coy Aiken is number 5.
Okay.
Trying to find my 5th. I am looking at this a little different. Morton, number 1. I don't.
We'll all agree on that one.
I mean, starting quarterback. That's
kind of why I went with 5.
So that we get past 1.
Yes. Okay.
I really have a tie for 2, but it's a 3-way tie, and are all 3 on this list. So 2, 3, 4. Pick the order you want them in. J-Rod, Bryce Ramirez, and Ben Roberts. Your 3 linebackers. They are the consistent pieces you have on your defensive side of the ball in the heart of your defense that has been really good. They are the leaders on your defense that have been in the Red Raider program. I know that's a new system this year, but they are they're the guys the rest of the defense is going to follow when it comes to how to be a Red Raider and playing better defense. And they're the one position group on your defense that we don't question. We're not worried about the defensive. We're worried about the defensive line and their improvement. And can the defensive linebackers were good? There's a reason for it because that's how important these 3 guys are. I don't know if I want to go with like Trey Jackson or if I want to go with any one of your new receivers, or if I want to go kicker. Like I feel like that's they're all kind of in that range. because you got to have somebody Morton can throw to. But we've also seen what happens when you don't have a kicker. And that's not fun. So whoever your starting kicker is I'm going to put fifth because it's still a battle right now.
So quarterback, 3 linebackers, and a kicker.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, those were some interesting answers. I'll take Baron Morton, number 1. Okay. Number 2 on my list, I'm going to group the entire offensive line together. I'll say offensive line. Number 3, I say Jacob Rodriguez. Number 4, I'm going David Bailey. And I just think,
he's massive. Yeah.
His ability to put pressure on a quarterback should be a difference maker for this defense. And number 5, I have Quentin Joyner down because I think if you can't run the football effectively, then it's going to make things really difficult on Morton and the receivers. And so I think you got to be able to run the football, and I think Quentin Joyner is the guy that I expect to be the lead dog this year for the
I was just getting ready to ask you, is he the lead dog?
I think he will be.
Okay.
And so I think Joyner is number 5 for me. So even though I think Douglas and Aiken are going to have great years, the fact that you have quality receivers around them, it feels like even if one of them wasn't as spectacular as we expect them to be, you could still survive because you have other good ones. Mm-hmm. And maybe you could say a little bit of that with Quentin Joyner, meaning that if he didn't work out or wasn't great, then you still have a couple of other backs that you really like that could do some great things for you. And I think there's a little bit of truth to that. Obviously Jacoby Williams is a guy that feels like he could do some good things for you too. But I just think Quentin Joyner is going to be the lead guy. So I think the running back position is really important. Yeah,
you wonder, you're going to have some competition there in that running back room, and who knows? Maybe one of the guys other than Quentin Joyner will kind of rise to the top, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I was picking an individual on the defensive line, it's probably a guy like Lee Hunter, just because you want to be able to stop the run. That's always been the thing in football, right? You got to be able to run football. You got to be able to stop the run. Lee Hunter should be your lead run stuffer.
Okay.
Obviously, Jacob Rodriguez has a lot to do with that as well. But, Hunter would be just on the outside of my top 5.
Hunter, 6'4", 325. He's the transfer that's, he's a door frame. he's a door frame.
Yeah.
That's the best way you can describe an offensive or defensive lineman, door frame. 7:39 this morning here on the morning drive. I remember one time, daughter number 1, I think they went on one date or whatever. This kid came over and he was an offensive lineman. He ended up transferring out of Tech, but he shows up at our house to pick her up. And he left, and my wife's like, "What did you think?" I go, "That kid's a door frame." She's like, "Door frame?" I said, "Yeah, he filled the door frame." He was just like massive. This massive man. It's just like, okay, well, that's impressive. Hope you can make a hand. And it didn't really work out.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. Thank you for being with us today on the Morning Drive. It's a championship day, right? We hope. We hope.
Somebody will win a championship today.
One way or the other.
Yeah, somebody will win a championship.
Might not be
today.
us, but somebody will win.
Yeah.
We hope it's better. It's better if it's us, though.
We'll
treasure it more. They have so many, they don't know what to do with them all.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it want to come here? We'd love it forever. Mm-hmm. Like, we'd polish it all the time. We'd treat it right. We'd get it a nice little stand to sit on all by itself.
A big stand.
And be enjoyed by everybody.
Spotlight on it, things like that.
If you went down to Austin, you just get lost.
Yeah. We come to you, Jamie, Jeff, and I, from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. I'm looking for score predictions or your level of confidence for tonight. So Jamie's was 5 out of 10. Jeff, what is yours?
6.
and mine is 7. Mine's 70%. Thank you to a couple of the texters.
I mean, are we really thanking them for reminding us Houston's in the Big 12?
No, it's my fault. Okay,
are we? But they didn't have to remind us. I was perfectly fine living in a world where they weren't. I mean, yes, we were wrong. That doesn't mean we needed to be reminded Houston's in the Big 12.
Chuck must have forgotten that Houston is a Big 12 team also in basketball. Yeah. Kim points out you forgot Houston. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. Lindale Jeff, did Chuck forget Houston is in the conference? Yes, I left them out. This is my bad. Somebody wants to know your keys to the softball game tonight, Jimmy. You always have a key for the Red Raider baseball games. What's your key to the softball game tonight?
I think scoring early would be massive in this one. It just feels like the way that these games have been played, it's a situation where whoever makes the mistake, bigger mistakes in key situations, is the team that's losing. Mm-hmm. So, I probably would go with the, clean baseball. Just play clean baseball because, a lot of times in these kind of moments, you get caught up in the moment. It gets too big for you, whatever. Mm-hmm. You're making mistakes. And I think somebody on the chat line said it really well a little bit earlier when they said, I think both teams can probably feel like they won a game that they shouldn't have in this series, and both can feel like they lost a game that they shouldn't have. And I think that's totally fair. So, getting the early lead, I think, would be massive, and just avoiding mistakes. Because it feels like this series so far, the mistakes have been huge.
Yeah,
it's not been about big hits. Mm-hmm. It's not been about necessarily clutch hitting per se. It's been about taking advantage of the other team's mistakes. Yeah,
so I think you're right. I think scoring early has would put pressure. Which team do you think has the most pressure on them, or does it really matter at this point in time?
This is straight up even.
Yeah, it's both.
Yeah. It's not like you're a Cinderella. I mean, you could say you are to a certain degree, but you really can't with the money that you spent to bring this team in together, right?
Correct.
Yeah. It's not like this is a bunch of homegrown talent that's cobbled it together and like all of a sudden we found lightning in a bottle and they're the darling of the. They may be the darling. Are they the darling? Do you think they're the darling?
I don't know.
There are a lot of people in Oklahoma rooting for Tech to win over Texas. Yes.
Well, that's just
because it's over Texas, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
not rooting for Tech to win. They're rooting for Texas to lose.
Yeah.
Which I fully support them and welcome into the club.
How's America feel about this? Do you think America is behind Texas Tech today?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. 8:06 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line.
That's your solid question, Chuck? That's a really good question. If one, I don't know that everybody in America even knows that Women's College World Series is going on, to their discredit. Because this has been a really fun series to watch, not just because the Red Raiders are involved, but because of everything that's been going on. But would America be rooting for Texas, a brand that they know, or the Red Raiders, a brand that if you talk to anybody in the softball world, we spend a ton of money in the NIL to get this team put together. Does everybody root for the Yankees and Dodgers? Or the Red Sox, or anybody else who's ever tried to buy a championship? Not necessarily.
There's plenty of teams that have bought championships.
But that doesn't mean that you're. I know Dodgers fans are rooting for the Dodgers, but everybody else is anti-Dodger. So that's a really good question. I don't know where America's
anti-Dodger
fandom lies.
Yeah. If
you should be given credit.
If the Yankees and the Dodgers played for the World Series again, I'd root for Jamie. Is who I'd root for because I want Jamie to have joy. I know, but I want Jamie to have joy. Okay, if the Bills made it to the Super Bowl, I would root for Jamie because I want Jamie to have joy. Okay,
right. But we have a rooting interest because of Jamie. We're talking about the people that have no rooting interest whatsoever and are looking at the. I
think they're rooting for Tech because of the hatred for Texas. Okay, so let me let me ask you this.
I mean, I'm rooting for Tech to win. Let's make this clear. Like, I just don't know what the world is.
Yeah. What what do you think the reaction will be around town tonight if the Red Raiders win? Will there be dancing in the streets per se? I mean, will there be an organic gathering at Memorial Circle? Will there be what do you think?
I don't think they'll be dancing in the streets.
What's the weather doing?
I don't.
Think there'll be a little convergence at Memorial Circle? Jumping in the fountains, maybe something like that.
I don't. I'm not sure, Chuck.
You know what? Here's another. It's
I
not
can guarantee that I won't do either one of those.
Okay.
Things. Okay.
All right. Here's a question that I have from for the fire chief of Lubbock. Okay. Do we have big enough fire trucks? Okay, that are filled with water that when the plane lands, they can do them.
I'm sorry, Chuck's mic cut. I don't know what happened. It's weird.
Crazy
we're going to have to get that
works.
fixed in the break. This is the Morning Drive. Coming up, we've got more conversation about the Texas Tech softball team and may even look at Dick Vitale's ranking overall and get all the Big 12 schools mentioned.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.